Hey, what up, everybody? We are going to look at every slide in your Wagner backpack defense assignment. If you're looking at the assignment, you already know that there's a Google Classroom just for the defense, and that this assignment is in there. This first slide, this blank one, it'll have this video in it. Slide 2 just tells you what the heck is going on if you don't know. In short, a defense is a presentation. It's a presentation where you talk about work you've done at Wagner, and how it's helped prepare you for the future, and kind of like what are you going to go do? Okay. Um, we'll talk about the nuts and bolts of what you have to do, but I guess the last bit that you may not know is that you present to a panel of people, and the people on that panel is usually myself, another administrator, so like an AP or a counselor, another teacher. Sometimes there's district personnel, and sometimes there'll be some students, but not all the time. And I would go so far as to say rarely. So usually, myself, an admin, and a teacher will be there. Okay. Here are your defense requirements, broken down in sort of a list version. It's just a little more simplified than the rubric we'll look at in a second. But let's go through it. You have to have an introduction. You need to introduce yourself. That'll be a little more clear when we look at that slide. Number 2 is the biggest section. That is the artifacts. That just means your pieces of work. Okay, it says 3 artifacts. You need to present 3 artifacts. That said, your 3 artifacts need to represent all 5 of our backpack skills of success. Okay, so that would be prepared, resilient learner, effective communicator, productive collaborator, emerging innovator, globally and culturally competent citizen. Okay. So that means that some of your work needs to represent more than one. Okay. And if you've been putting stuff in the backpack, when you categorize them in there, you probably already have some that are flagged with more than one skill anyway. And maybe you don't, and you'll figure it out. Admittedly, it might be a little cumbersome. Okay, and you can see here's just an example of what that might look like. Number 3 requirement, diploma plus. Basically, that means you're going to get a diploma, right? You're going to graduate, but what else? What else you got? So present your college and career readiness. Was it ACT or Coyote scores that shows that you're college and career ready? Was it an industry certification? If you've got good ACT scores and you earned an industry cert, by all means, share them both. Goodness, if you have a picture of an industry certification that you earned, please put it in there. That will feel so nice for you and all of us. Now, if none of that applies to you, if you're not college and career ready, what else? Right? What do you excel at? What has been good for you here at Wagner or outside if you must? So, like, were you in band and orchestra and you really enjoyed that? Were you maybe a part of a club that you really enjoyed? Maybe, I don't know, doesn't matter, BSU, debate, whatever. Were you affiliated with a sports team that you're really proud of that work, maybe? And if not, it could be something else. Like you worked at Kroger for 2 years and you really like it. Just whatever it is that, and this is how Dr. Hitchens put it, what sets you apart, right? What makes you different than everybody else? What makes you you in a way that is unique? Okay. Number 4, plans for the future. Present exactly what you plan to do next year and beyond. So a lot of times when we ask plans for the future, people will be like, I want to be rich and I'm not going to give up. That's really not what we mean. Like concrete goals, concrete steps. I mean, I want you to be rich and I want you to not give up, but that's just not what we're talking about. Like I want to be an herbologist. I don't know. And then I'm going to go to this school. And then after that, I'm going to do this. And I hope to get a job, blah, 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 blah. Like some real goals, real steps. And yeah, and we'll come back to that. Okay, conclusion. Just say your goodbyes to Wagner. All right, here is the rubric. This is how you will be assessed. You'll see there are 2 slides. The intro, your 3 artifacts, and you can see it just breaks it down based on like the quality. Thoroughly, clearly, you do it, you don't do it. Okay, it goes from really amazing to bad job. Okay. And then here's the rest. This one at the top. Did you present work for all 5 success skills? It's important. Diploma plus, plans for the future conclusion, all the stuff we just talked about. Okay. All right. This slide is just a little helper if you really don't understand what these skills mean or what the work would look like if they belong in that group. And this is just to help you figure that out. Okay. Because maybe you have a really nice piece of work that you really like and you don't know what to do with it. This could help you figure out what to do with it. All right. Okay. Completing your slideshow. You are given a slideshow template and it walks you through the process of getting this done. Okay. This slide will give you every step you need to do to get it done. All right. So the first one, change the background, change the fonts, make it your own. A parade of basic gray slides is very depressing. Please make this thing look like your thing. Please. Next is slide 7, the title slide. Change the title, change your name. If I get it and it says title Jeff Jefferson, I'm going to send it back and say that it's not done because that's crazy, Jeff Jefferson. Slide 8, about me. The slide has 5 facts. That's kind of arbitrary. Like you can have 7 facts, you could have 4 or whatever, but you just need to talk about you. If you can include some pictures, that definitely makes it better. And let me just say this. Just assume that you're interesting because most of the time I have to talk to students about their backpack defenses. For whatever reason, this is the one they end up having the most, they struggle with the most. And I think it's because y'all don't understand that you're interesting and that people are interested in you. So the panel is there for you. They want to know who you are. This is your chance. Just let us know who you are. And it doesn't have to be a big deal, right? Maybe you like skateboarding or you're a big Cincinnati Bengals fan or you go to church or you live with your grandma or you have 3 sisters or your favorite food is Chinese food. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you you is interesting to us. So just let us know who you are. Okay. All right. You'll see here that 9, 10, and 11 are your 3 pieces of work. Now, it says answer the 4 questions, and we're going to go look at those in just a second. But it also says add the artifact or an image of the artifact to the slideshow. Okay, we have to be able to see the work. All right, now this can be a little time consuming. Depending on what the piece of work is. Now, if it's a Google slide and it's wide, like this screen you're looking at, you can go to that Google slideshow and you can copy the slides you want and just paste them right into the slideshow. You're done. Okay, so for getting the artifact in there, Google Slides are going to be the quickest way to accomplish that. If you have a video in Google Drive, that's going to be a pretty easy way because you can just insert the video on its own slide, resize it, and you're done. Now, if it is like a Google Doc, which a lot of them are because you all write papers, you're going to need to get a picture of that first page. We have to see it. It doesn't really feel real if we can't see it. So you can screenshot it, and I show you, there's a little pointer here on the next slide that tells you how to take a screenshot. Just get it inserted and cropped and try to make it look nice. Okay, let's go look at the 4 questions. Okay, what is this artifact? Don't just give us a title, please, because it doesn't really mean anything. Like, be exhaustive explaining it and offering context about this assignment. Who assigned it? What class? When did they assign it? Why did they assign it? Like, what were you supposed to be learning? What was the goal? When did you do it? How long did it take? Who did you work with? All of that stuff makes this whole process feel much more real and much more valuable. So please, please, please Really, really dig in when you're telling us what the artifact is. Okay, it's not asking for a title, it's asking for context. We want to know everything about it. Okay. Number 2 is the hardest question. Which backpack skills of success does it represent, and how has it helped you improve those skills? So, if your first artifact only represents prepared and resilient learner, you'd say so and say that maybe this thing took me 4 weeks. It was a really giant pain. I wanted to give up, but I didn't. And my gosh, I feel like I'm better at working through difficult situations now, whatever. But if it's an artifact that represents more than one skill, like let's say you picked emerging innovator and productive collaborator, you would then need to speak to both of those. This shows that I'm an emerging innovator because this helped me develop myself as a productive collaborator because right? So again, this question could be a little time consuming. Number 3, why am I proud of it? Well, hopefully you are, and it's probably not going to be that hard to answer. If you're not proud of it, you have 2 options. Number 1, pick something else that you're proud of. Option 2, if there's nothing else, I'm not gonna use the phrase "fake it," but like play the game, just do a good job. Number 4, how has it helped prepare me for the future? If you say it hasn't, I will be petty and I will send it right back and tell you that you're not ready to defend because that was rude. Um, if you answered number 2, you can answer number 4, right? It's done something for you. Okay. Man, I got a little salty on that one. You guys haven't even done anything wrong yet. And then you'll see that the next 2 slides are just the same thing, okay? Just with different work and different success skills. Okay. Diploma Plus. You're going to see there's not much on that one. Again, you just need to present the things that show that you're college and career ready, and or the situations or the things in which you excel that you feel good about. Okay, plans for the future. I help you a little bit more with that one. What are you doing after you leave Waggener? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? What steps will you take to meet your goals? Again, concrete, literal steps that you could potentially take to meet your goals. And then how has Waggener helped prepare you to meet this goal? And of course, even the most cynical person can find something to say on number 4 that's positive. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. All right. Conclusion. You'll see that that's a pretty empty one too. It just says add a goodbye message. Say your goodbyes. So what's the last thing you want to say to Waggener before you get up out of here? All right. Delete the first. It says 6. It's probably going to end up being 7 or 8. All the slides before the title slide, just delete them before you go to classroom and turn it in. Okay. I have a little disclaimer down here. You can format this thing any way you want. You can delete slides. You can make your own slides. You can add slides. Do whatever you need to do this thing. This is meant to help you, not to hinder you or your creativity. Okay. Do what you want to do. All right. I have a few tips that I think are helpful to know. I've already said this, but you can add slides. Okay, of course. I've said this too. If your artifacts in Google Slides and it's widescreen, 16 by 9, you can just copy and paste those right in. It's a time saver. Again, we talked about this too. You're just going to get a screenshot of that first page if it's a paper. Here's a big one. Use note cards. You don't have to. That's not my job to tell you have to, but just based on my experience, kids who have note cards they just do better. Just even the process of writing it down makes you know what you're talking about so much more, and most of the time they hardly even look at them. They're not reading off of them. It's just like they write them down and they know their stuff and they're way more comfortable. So strong suggest. Number 5. Oh yeah, if you have videos, try to use them. I'll tell you why. We can't read your paper. There's no time for that. We can't even really read through like Google Slides. But like a piece of art, for example, like we can actually see the art. It's real. Like we can experience it. Same with videos. Like you can play it, we can watch it, and you get a little break. You get to stand there for a minute while we watch it. It's really nice. And they're nice to have in there. So if you have a video that you're proud of, by all means, we'd love to see it. Um, if you have work that's in Drive or just work anywhere that's not in the backpack, you can still use it. That's still work you did in high school, and don't use work from middle school, not that you would. You can use it. It doesn't have to be in the backpack. All right. Um, People always want to ask if the questions and the answers need to be on the slides. No. Do what you want to do. Okay. Some people want to take the questions off and put little bulleted short versions of the answers. Some people just want to leave the questions on and make them look nice. Some people want to get rid of all of it altogether. It's some people have way too much text on there because that's what they're feeling. So it is up to you. You just need to answer the questions for the panel one way or the other. Um, be polite and professional. Say hello, thank the panel, all that stuff. You'll feel better if you do. If you don't have enough work, like if you don't have stuff in the backpack, by all means, like go to Drive first because maybe you have stuff sitting in Drive. But then after that, you're just gonna have to talk to your teachers. Okay, they're gonna be the gatekeepers for your work. Um, if you've been on any field trips or you know um, any trips through your pathway or you've been on club events, stuff like that, like you can always ask for some sort of representation, like a photograph or a video or, um, even an agenda or something like that that you could use. I'm sure that stuff is out there. If you don't have, if none of that works and you still don't have enough work, this is always the answer. Do some work now, right? What assignments are out there that you're getting ready to get done or you should have gotten done this year already that you can go finish? Last line of defense here is go get to work right now. Okay. Any other problems, you can totally holler at me if your teachers don't know what's up. Okay. All right. I think we have done it. Yes. Your grades will come through Classroom. I will put a defense schedule out, like when you're going to defend, as soon as I can, but we will be defending the week of November 28th and the week of December 5th. Okay. So that's not very far away, but I'll tell you what, it's going to feel really nice to get this done. All right. You're going to go into semester 2 having a really big thing checked off of your graduation list, and it's going to feel really, really good. All right, y'all. I'm done. You holler at me if you need me. Okay, bye.